And so that gives us a line, that gives us all of this right here. See that? And this is all a flat plane, isn't it? So we drop that straight down. There. We're going to drop the point down here, the apex of that roof, right down to there. And we're going to drop this down to there as well. And then what we'll do is we'll take all of those, we'll take the direction of the light out this way, at azimuth, right? Out that way, out that way, and out that way, and then take the angle of the light on down. So the corresponding point for the shadow for this point right here would be right there. Corresponding point for this, drop down straight out, would be right there. Okay, and the corresponding point for that would be right there. Would you agree? Go like this.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so those 3 points there. Now, does this point and this point connect?
Yes.
So what's going to happen here?
Those are going to connect.
Those are going to connect. So this will go right here, like this. Okay. Does this point and this point connect?
Yes.
So what's going to happen from here to here?
Connect.
Those are going to connect, aren't they? But what happens, so from here to there, what happens when I hit the wall?
It's going to change direction.
It's going to change direction. So that goes there and then there. So this shadow here actually is there, but then goes back over here. Let me ask you a question. This, we're going to make the assumption that this back edge here, since we have no other indication, is going to be the same as that, right? All of these lines going in that direction go to where?
Left vanishing point.
Left vanishing point, right? Remember from the very first one, that goes to where? Left vanishing point. So where does the shadow for that on the ground go to?
Left vanishing.
Left vanishing point. That line there goes to where?
Right.
Right vanishing point. So that goes to where?
Right.
Right vanishing point. As long as we're talking about horizontal lines, horizontal surfaces, they're going to go back to the same vanishing point. You with me? So if that back edge goes to the left vanishing point, where do I go from here?
Left
Vanishing point. Oh man. Actually, if you, and that's one way of doing it, but what you can do also is like this, right? And you line this point with this one right here, and you line that point for that one right there. And there it is. See that? See what's happening with that? Come on over, Lorenzo. Okay, so that is the shadow for all of that back there. You with me so far?
Yep. Yes.
Any questions? Okay, with me, Alex?
Yeah.
You with me? I'm just sleeping, man. I know that stuff already. Okay, so now, again, look at the edges casting the shadow. So I have light there, correct? Do I have light right here? Yeah, do I have light on the underside? No, I don't. So this edge here is going to create a shadow too, right? Is this in shade or shadow?
Shade.
Shade, right? This is in light. So is this edge going to create a shadow? Yes, it will. So I already have that point located on the ground, right? So I need to find this one here.
Yep.
Well, the good news is it's what? Directly below that one. So you drop that point down to the ground, it's right there. And then we just take the angle of the light here. And so that point right there now is that corresponding point there. This point connects with that point, so what do I do with these two?
Connect them.
Connect them, right? And it makes sense that if you take a look, what direction is that line going?
Vertical.
Vertical, isn't it? Take a look. That line's going what direction?
Vertical.
Vertical. And if it's vertical, what direction is the shadow going? Straight
Horizontal.
out this way, right?
Yep.
Straight out that way. And so what happens with this guy here is, if we have a vertical edge and it's casting a shadow on a horizontal surface, it's going to go straight out that way. Or if our light's coming from the other direction, it'll go out that way, right? Okay. So, and so that follows. See how that works? Right. Okay. Well, again, let's start tracing all of these shadows and everything, or the edges, I should say. So we said that, again, this edge is going to cast a shadow because shade and light. This edge is going to cast a shadow, shade and light. This edge is going to cast a shadow because we have shade underneath on that surface underneath and light there. And so the shadow for this right here, again, like this back one, this edge goes to where?
Left vanishing point.
Left vanishing point. So from this point right down here on the ground, the shadow's going to go to where?
Left vanishing point.
Left vanishing point. So again, it's these things that we've already done right there. Okay. Now, here's where your problem is on this guy here,
Yeah.
right? You didn't get that thing going on. You with me? Okay. Because what's happening on the ground, you're going to have this casting shadow right there, but this is going to cast a shadow on the ground, and so is that. So you have to do both of those. This vertical edge is going to cast a shadow, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But also this horizontal edge underneath. And so you need to do both of those. So we've done the horizontal underneath, which is that guy right there. We need to do this vertical edge, right? Vertical edge, what direction does it go? Straight out, right?
Vertical edge. None of
What was that?
Vertical edge.
Vertical
minus
edge.
side.
Line of sight.
There you go. Okay,
No.
so that's what's happening on the ground. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody follow that, okay? Okay. Here's the problem. What in the heck happens with this thing here when it hits the wall? Does it go straight up?
No.
Goes to the vanishing point.
It doesn't?
No, yes it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Yes it does.
Huh? Or is Mr. Moore just playing with your mind again?
No, it goes vertical when it hits that.
Reverse psychology.
No,
right
no, he's playing with your mind.
there.
He's playing with your mind.
Say no, say no, no.
If
Say
it-
no, say no.
I'm not saying anything, just continue.
Give me one of these. It's kind of combination.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Whoa,
It's a
Disney.
maybe.
Kind of combination, no and yes. Okay, so it's actually not difficult, and here's why. Because what's the orientation of that surface right there?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. What's the orientation of the ground?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. How'd I find the, well, and if I'm looking at this, how'd I find that right there? I found this point and this point. On what? The ground. So what do I need to do? I need to find this point and this point where? Up here. How do you do that? Well, to find it on the ground, I drop this down to where? The ground. So if I want to find it for the top here, I drop this down to where?
To the top of that one.
To the top of that. Same height. So here we go. From there to there. Drop that point down to there. Drop that point down to there and do just like I did here. Straight out, angle of light, right? Hey, come on in, Dean.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Yeah. So what we're going to do is you take this right here, this angle of the light right there. See that? And we'll go from there and we hit right there. See that? And from here, right there. See that? So what I did, I found the corresponding points for that shadow up on the top. And so what do I do?
Connect them.
Connect them. And connect them where?
To each other.
Up on the top. Hey, Dean, go ahead and let them walk around.
Yeah, okay.
And they can catch a little bit of lecture if they want.
We only have about 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So that goes across like that. Well, this portion and this here, it's all the same shadow, isn't it? Cast by that. So what do I do from here?
Connected with that.
I go up to this one right here. That goes up to that one right there. And so that's the shadow on the wall. Make sense? Yeah, when you do it, Mr. Zamora, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what you have to do is, again, do that. I'm going to address these folks here for a minute, and then we'll get back to this in a bit. Okay? So go ahead and grab a seat. Get started on that. Get started on that.